Shalom, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Racha HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect members of the nation of Israel. Alright, real brief, I want to highlight this article from cssoulonline.com, and the title is What's Ahead for Digital Identity in 2020? Alright, now the year 2020 is coined as a year of prophecy. So let's get into this article a little bit. It says events of the past year have set up big changes for digital identity in 2020. Here's a recap of what happened and what to expect this year. Now this article is pretty short due to the fact that you need a subscription to view the whole article. But I'm going to read up until the point it's cut off because it poses a question. So let's get into it. And as you can see, it was published just today, January 16th, 2020, the year of prophecy. It says in 2019, the identity sector began to open its eyes, rubbing the sleep out of them as the world awoke to the purpose and power of identity. Digital identity has risen from the ashes of traditional identity and access management to become a central tenet of cybersecurity. Identity is all in a world increasingly digital. Across every device, identity sits like a central pin with the potential to control not only access to resources, but the data they consume. It says the human in the machine is key to security, as well as actual identity. Data breaches increased by 54% in the first half of 2019. Our data is our identity. To empower the human, we must empower the identity. Will the 2020s bring identity to a new age of maturity, to digital identity? And that's the question it poses, and that's the end of the article. Now, this question, will the 2020s bring identity to a new age of maturity, to digital identity? Now, this made me think about that ID 2020. It's this article that I want to touch on real quick because it explains what the ID 2020 is. Microchips. And here we go. Digital identity. Now this article right here is from medium.com. It says implantable digital ID vaccination system in development. Yikes. Now this was published just a few months ago, October 29th, 2019. It says here, would you agree to have a microchip implanted into your body? That's the question that Microsoft and a group of pharmaceutical companies are asking. Microsoft is spearheading an initiative called ID 2020, a program aimed at giving every human on the planet a digital ID, like a fingerprint, in order to keep everyone connected. What is ID 2020? The ID 2020 Alliance is an initiative helmed by Bill Gates and aimed at getting digital IDs right. According to the official ID 2020 site, current methods of official identification are archaic and not accessible by everyone. As the Alliance claims, the current methods of digital identification are easy to spoof, and proper online ID certification hasn't become a reality just yet. As companies are are only now defining what a proper official online ID looks like, ID 2020 seeks to help define what a good digital ID is. Gates and the board of the Alliance have a certification mark that they award to companies and technologies that meet the criteria of being good digital ID tech. Now it goes right here into the connection with the vaccinations. It says the idea behind some of ID 2020's more controversial technology is a digital ID that can be implanted into someone in chip form. Ostensibly, this is to help homeless people this is to help homeless people or people in developing countries by giving them access to blockchain-powered identification. In theory, the practice will have people receiving free vaccinations through the Bill Gates Foundation if they have an ID chip implant. In turn, these implants will carry encrypted blockchain-backed data that allow for easy access to services you can't normally get without an ID. Okay? It could also help social workers and researchers keep up with who is up to date on their vaccinations. Why has this got some people worried? Some people are concerned that Bill Gates, one of the richest people on the planet, is working with a private alliance of companies to create a digital ID standard. Between the power he wields financially through Microsoft and politically via his charitable organization, it is a bit unnerving to think of him microchipping every citizen. However, it seems the program isn't as nefarious as it sounds at first. A blockchain ID aimed at empowering the most impoverished and the homeless doesn't sound like a bad thing at all to us. That said, others are concerned about the idea of being tracked in general. Is this something you'd ever agree to have done? Okay, and that's the point of this article that I wanted to get. But going back here about this article and what it asked, what's ahead for digital ID in 2020? And this question it posed, will the 2020s bring identity to a new age of maturity to digital identity? And the answer is yes. Okay? 2020, the year of prophecy. We're halfway into this month of January already. And as these days go by, as the weeks go by, as the months go by, you're going to see this ideology become more mainstream because it is prophetic in nature. All right? Because the idea to implant humans with a microchip is the mark of the beast. Okay? The current beast on this planet Earth is made up of the European Union, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, and the United States of America. Okay? That's the beast. The revived Roman Empire. All right? Now, this is prophetic, man. So this is also a sign of us being in the last days. All right? And as the prophecy speaks, we're going to get that right now. The microchipping of everyone on the planet will come to pass. Okay? Those who are microchipped are those destined to be dipped in that lake of fire, which is the second death. Now this is Revelation, the 13th chapter, beginning at verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And as we continue to mention, the word mark in the Greek goes back to the word charagma, which means a mark cut in. Okay, a stamp, an imprinted mark. Okay, and it will serve as a form of identity and financial transaction. Okay, prophecy is speaking. Do not take the microchip. Beware of the microchip. When it is made mandatory, you will know that a prophet has been among you. Shalom.